No, I ain't gonna listen to you. See, I've been here for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot, they like to claim leadership, they like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be a club, they really have authority. They don't really need that authority, they don't really know what to do with that leadership. Understand? Your own hands.
Are we scared? Let me get some of this. Get some of this work. Yeah. Take that audio. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, when the fuck with our leaders, I'm curious. You catch down through your blood, you traded you in and bought a new beats. Actually, the prophets, I tell you the schemes. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed me up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world and double together. Nobody's going to get them. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. It's just told the devil the school never settled. Yeah, prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. You know what I'm saying? They say God sold up the world. God sold up the world, and no, your ass need to stop and ask you. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. You gotta stand up and serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all don't pray on our knees, nigga. Stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass, you gotta stop and ask shit. Or I'm gonna step outside of the show to the fake niggas. Stay silent, I got it, let's go, let's go. I ain't taking no losses, ain't no talking, but we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own, be low to the right arm. Tell them we can't keep it safe. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got you, baby mother on high or high, baby pass through the fire. That's your props, that make me so belong to the Lord. I dare you to bought it, you never will pay you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare start you bring my water. But your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. The ass teeth, stop the ass, she the props. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday. 30 years. If I got you to take this story, good. It's good because it's right here, but somehow we worry like after it's all done.
Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Stand up and serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. Stand up and serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga.
All right. Most High in Christ. We all here. You know what I'm saying? Let me share this up real quick. Make sure y'all like and share the class, Brother Kashad. Make sure all phones is on silent. No interruptions. All right, Shalom Israel, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah, Yahweh Shemar Latan Bashim Yahushua, to all the brothers and all the sisters. This is Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I'm Priest and Officer Cross. I'll be holding it down this Tuesday Brotherhood class. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go into slightly off so we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to talk about the bearing children and abortion. You know what I'm saying? It says these two go hand in hand because I want to touch on this topic because it's crazy how we have fallen from. It's an important topic to touch on. I know it's touchy for some sisters. I know it's touchy for some brothers who went through that. Women then got abortions behind their back. Women then, had abortions out plainly, or you even told a woman to get an abortion. You know what I'm saying? These are all things that go against the Lord, and it's unbrotherly as well. You know what I'm saying? Because you're killing off seed. You're thinning our own nation. You know what I'm saying? So I want to touch on this topic because in biblical, I'll say biblical times, but in our history, because the Bible is our history as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Our sisters' life, they didn't feel complete in their life if they didn't have a child. You see what I'm saying? And now in today's society, sisters, it's looked at as a bad thing to even have a child. You see what I'm saying? You got children, you can't live your life. You got children, or that's a hindrance to your self. This is gonna stop you from doing this, and that. So we're gonna touch on this topic tonight. get into it. You know what I'm saying? So like to share the class. It's very important that we understand what's the difference between the two. Give me this is started off. Give me Isaiah 28:10 and Psalms 119, 104. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into a warm up real quick. And swap if you could. Here's your Bible. You got a lot? Okay, kind of.
I will grab this in the car.
Okay. Or your phone or whatever the case may be. Just need one more precept. So whoever got Isaiah 28:10, read. We're going to get into these accounts as well. We're going to look at our generations of old. Scripture tells us look to the generations of aforetime. We're going to look to the generations of aforetime and learn from them and learn how things work. Like you gotta go back and really study this Bible and really look to these accounts. Like I always try to bring up accounts of the Bible. That's just how I like to get down because it's our history. You know what I'm saying? This is all our history. This is Black Hispanics that went through these things in this Bible. It might sound the Christian church puts this fairy tale aspect on it, like, dang, these are just make-believe stories or things that just happen, or somebody made them up, like a Greek myth or something like that. These aren't Greek myths. These are real life things because if you read Deuteronomy chapter 28 and you see the blessings, those are not real to you right now because you're not in that time period. But you can look at them curses and you can see that, dang, this is really happening to me. You know what I'm saying? This is really real. And it might be a fairy tale to the Edomites or to Asians or to, these other nations, but it's not a fairy tale for your life. So don't let them make what is true for you fake to you. See what I'm saying? Don't let them put that spoof on it. Right? Who got Isaiah 28:10?
Come on. The book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 10. For precept must be upon precept.
Right.
Precept upon precept.
Right.
Line upon line.
Right.
Line upon line.
Mm-hmm.
Here a little and there a little.
Right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go precept upon precept, line upon line. This is the formula of breaking down the Bible. You go here, there, Genesis to Proverbs to Hebrews, back to Genesis. You see what I'm saying? We're going to go line upon line, here a little, there a little, and break down these precepts. Why do we go into the precepts? Give me Psalms 119, 104. Whoever got it.
Oh, yeah.
This
Was it 119 and what's that?
119, 104.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 104.
Hold on 1 second. You flip and give me Romans 15 and 4.
Romans 15 and 4.
Yeah. Go ahead. Whoever got Psalms 119.
Come on. The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104.
Why do we read these precepts? Why do we go precept upon precept? Go ahead.
Through thy precepts I get understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore I hate every false way.
What is a false way? Anything that's not going lines up with these precepts.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Anything that's not lining up with these precepts is a false way. So we don't get precept upon precept, line upon line, proving the beauty of having children and proving the wickedness of abortion. You know what I'm saying? And if you ever encourage a sister to get an abortion, you should feel shameful about it. If you ever had gotten an abortion, you should feel shameful about it. You see what I'm saying? These are things that go against the Lord, right? And yeah, it might bring up harboring old feelings for you sisters, and brothers have it on their conscience, just like sisters have it on their conscience. But these are the things that keep you humble. These are the things that should keep you humble. Your sins of what you've done and who you and your offenses to the Lord should keep you humble. It should keep you on a narrow and straight path. You know what I'm saying? You should be asking the Lord for mercy and for forgiveness for your wickedness that you have done. You see what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. I gotta do the same for myself. You see what I'm saying? But that's how at least feel shame in your sin. Don't feel like hiding in your sin, like, oh, I didn't sin, and yeah, it is what it is, whatever. That's the wrong mindset to have. These are things that should make you feel ashamed. These are things that you should want to not do again. You see what I'm saying? Right? So now give me don't want to go into the abortion first, or Romans 15 and 3. Count. That's the one I want. Yeah, count. Give me that real quick.
Romans 15:3.
Mm-hmm.
For even Christ pleased not himself, but as it is written, the reproachers of them that
Drop
reproach.
down to, and it was Romans 15:4. Is that 4?
Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things are written aforetime
Right.
were written for our learning.
So whatever things were written up before time, meaning before you look previously in the old books of the Bible, were written for us to learn from. They're written for us to gain knowledge from. That's why scriptures tell us, study to show thyself approved, 2 Timothy 2:15. See what I'm saying? You gotta study, look to the generations of before time. If you're looking at Apocrypha, it says wisdom cometh by leisure time. So when you have time of your leisure, these are the things you should put forth the effort to study, to learn, to gain knowledge of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Give me. We're gonna go into the beauty of having children first. Give me Genesis. Give me Genesis 17:17. Because we know that a lot of sisters in the Bible were barren. You know what I'm saying? They prayed to the Lord for children. They prayed to the Lord. Husbands prayed to the Lord for their wives to have children. You see what I'm saying? And now we despise the aspect of having children. Like, dang, I'm about to have another child. And it's because of your condition and your hair that you're in, but also it's because that you want to have sex without the consequence of it. You see what I'm saying? Sex was made for your pleasure, yeah. But sex was also made to bring life into this world. And you got to understand that. Who you bringing life into, who you laying down and bringing life into this world with. It's always going to be a possibility. You see what I'm saying? That you could. You got something to say?
Yes, sir. Saying that on that, like, just my view on that was with people not wanting kids these days because they don't want the responsibility of taking care of a life and raising that life right because they want to live a destructive lifestyle, you know?
Right. They do. They want to live a destructive lifestyle because America teaches them that, or society teaches them that having kids restricts your life. It stops your life. Why? Look, your enemies have been trying to stop you from having kids since the days of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? They've been trying to stop you from having kids since the day of Egypt. Matter of fact, let's get into this first. Let's get into abortions first. Give me with the midwives. Give me Exodus 1:15. We touch on the beauty of bearing children after we get the wickedness of aborting children, right? Your enemies have been wanting to stop you from having children since the days of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? They seen you growing too much in number. They say, hold on, we gotta slow down their population. Let them stop having sons. Let them continue to have daughters. So we can increase our seed and not their seed. Planned Parenthood, seeing that Negroes was getting overpopulated, seeing the Hispanics were keeping too many of their babies. So what they do? Set up Planned Parenthood in all of our neighborhoods. You see what I'm saying? And made it, okay, we give you free testing, we give you free this, free that, try to give you free condoms, try to make it seem like it was a good thing to come to us. But really, they're trying to sterilize your behind. You see what I'm saying? Give me Exodus 1:15.
The book of Exodus chapter 1 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shephrah,
Mm-hmm.
and the name of the other Pa. Slakia. Is that?
Pua. Pa. You can say how you want to. Go ahead.
Count. Verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
Right. Keep going.
But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Right, then she shall live. Now this is what they were doing to us back in Egypt. He spoke to our own sisters and told them, kill the sons of this woman that are coming out of your fellow kinswoman's body. Kill them. They birthing a son, kill him. Because they were trying to stop the population of us growing in Egypt. We came into Egypt How many souls did we come into Egypt with? It tells you in Exodus, the first chapter. But how many souls did we come into Egypt with? Anybody know? Off the top of their head? Go ahead. 70 souls. We came into Egypt with 70 souls, and over a matter of time, we grew into the millions. You see what I'm saying? You know, Israelites love to get down. You know what I'm saying? We love to get down. You know what I'm saying? We like to enjoy each other. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you hold the office and the responsibility that comes with that. You know, you lay down with a woman, be a husband to that woman. You know what I'm saying? See, we teach what the Bible teaches in the UPK, that you lie with the woman, you stay with that woman. You see what I'm saying? That's right. You can't be out here lying with all these women and throwing them all away. You are now what? A hormone. You lie with this woman, that is now your wife. You have a duty and a responsibility to her. And likewise for sisters.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You have a responsibility and a duty to that man. And it's the only man you can sleep with now. See what I'm saying? That's what the Lord teaches us how marriage and sex should be. Not just, I'm tired of him, I'm going on to the next one. I'm tired of this one, I'm going on to the next one. I didn't want to have his kid, I aborted his kid, I'm on to the next one. I didn't want to have kids by her, I told her I paid for the abortion, I'm on to the next one. I didn't want to have kids by her, but on to the next one. See what I'm saying? That is a devilish cycle. You see what I'm saying? And it profits nobody. Now you break your woman's hearts because she might have really liked you and you told her to kill the baby. You see what I'm saying? And you now are an accessory to murder. You see what I'm saying? You're killing a child, an innocent child. They try to give you the signs of the baby's not breathing or whatever the heck the case may be. The baby's not alive or whatever. The baby's alive. You see what I'm saying? The baby's alive. And some people abort babies, like, I believe you can get an abortion all the way up to the baby's 20 weeks old in your womb. Right. So that's like 5 months. 5 months pregnant. 5 months. Yeah, 5 months pregnant. Go ahead.
Like, so I think they're coming out with a law now where you can have a baby terminated even after the baby's born.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like it has to be like right after the baby's born.
So you telling me somebody gonna go through all the whole 9 months of carrying this child, birth the child, push him out or get him cut out, and then kill the baby?
You can actually get
people. I'm asking you. People want that to happen.
I mean, it's lawful for them.
That is wicked. That's wicked. I ain't never heard that. That's wicked as hell.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's wicked as hell. You might as well just give the baby up for adoption. Go ahead.
So like, also like, it's natural for them to get abortions on their 3rd trimester at this time period right now too. Like it's legal for that. It just costs more to get it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah.
And a kingdom that allows that is wicked. You see what I'm saying? A kingdom that allows that is wicked. You should understand that they are allowing you. They are allowing you to murder your child, right?
Right.
But they're not. You don't get, and there's no repercussions for that. But they murder you in the streets every goddamn day, and they don't get no repercussions for that. You see, the point I'm bringing out here is, you don't care for your own child's life. Why should they care for your life? See what I'm saying? You don't care for the own baby that you carry. Now you're saying that they bring out the bill that you don't care for. 9 months, you want to get your baby terminated. Why should we care about your grown life?
Right.
Why? Do you see? Hold on 1 second. Do you see the struggles we as Blacks and Hispanics have to go through? It's so many ways and so many avenues or devices they have put up in this world and set up to try to kill us. Whether it be poisoning your food, poisoning your air, poisoning your water, stopping you from before you can even develop in the womb, shooting you down the street blatantly. You know what I'm saying? It's so many ways, incarcerating you for excessive amounts of time, basically for your life. You know what I'm saying? It's so many devices set up for you to fail. Why wouldn't you want to bring some more of us into this world if you have the ability to? Because there's some sisters that don't have the ability to bear children. Right? We're gonna get into that. Give me is there any more in Exodus?
Verse 17, sir?
Mm-hmm.
We're in verse 17 right now.
What does it say?
But the midwives feared God.
Right, give me that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 17.
Okay, read 16 and then go to 17.
Come on, God.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 17. But the midwives feared God.
But the midwives feared the Lord, as you should. Right? Go ahead.
And did not as the king of Egypt commanded them.
And they didn't do what this king commanded them. They didn't listen likewise today. They're not going to listen to what the oppressor puts out now. I'm not going to listen to that. I fear the Lord. I'm going to do the right thing, right? By my family and by my household, right? And the scriptures tell us what? Somebody give me, I believe it's Proverbs 14:1. Is it Proverbs 14:1? A wise woman buildeth her home, but a wicked woman plucketh it down, right? But keep reading on that. Somebody give me that Proverbs 14:1.
Oh, God. Verse 17. But the midwives feared God, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive.
Right. And look, by them doing this, by these midwives doing this at this particular time, they brought Moses into the world. You see what I'm saying? They didn't kill off a Moses.
Right.
They could have killed off a Moses if what? They feared Pharaoh more than they feared the Lord. Because they were oppressed at this time. Israelites were oppressed at this time. Right? And they said, to hell with what this man telling me to do. I'm going to fear the Lord. I'm going to do the right thing. Right? And they brought Moses into the world. I believe Moses came around the 3rd chapter, Exodus 3. Right? They brought Moses into the world. Right? Give me this precept real quick. Ecclesiastes 11:5. If you got Proverbs, 4:1. Read that for me.
Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
Right. Every wise woman will build her house. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we on baby number 5. But we're gonna make this work. We're gonna build this up. We're gonna make it happen. How we gotta make it happen.
Right.
You're gonna encourage your man that everything's gonna be all right. The man's gonna be there for you and let you know everything's gonna be all right. You see what I'm saying? Y'all gonna build that house, not pluck it down by going and getting an abortion behind your husband's back or killing off your own nation. You know what I'm saying? That's plucking down. That's what a foolish woman will do. Plucking your nation down, right? But give me Ecclesiastes. Now back to the point of the midwives. The midwives was just doing it because they feared the Lord. They could have, because Moses was coming in at this time period of time of Exodus. You see what I'm saying? And they could have been doing what Pharaoh said and killing all the Hebrew sons, and we wouldn't have had somebody to bring us out of that captivity. But go ahead, read Ecclesiastes.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11 and verse 1.
No, 11 and 5.
Come on. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11 and verse 5. As thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all.
Right. So you don't know what you're stopping by getting an abortion. You don't know what the Lord has in his mind. The Lord said, I knew you from the womb. Right? Roughly paraphrasing the precept. He said, I knew you from the womb. You don't know what the Lord who he has planned that you giving birth to. The next soldier, the next mighty priest, the next excellent trooper. You never know the next greatest influencer. You never know who our next brother to help lead brothers out of this captivity until Yahushua come back. Right? You never know who you might be giving birth. You don't know what the Lord has in store for that seed. Right? Go ahead.
Oh God. Verse 6. Slug it. Slug it. Verse 6. In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thine hand, for thou knowest not whether shall prosper.
Right. You don't know what's going to prosper. You don't know what's going to prosper. But if it's of the Lord, it will prosper. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
Okay. Either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good.
You don't know what your bad situation, how it's going to be turned out to the good for your, turn to good in the situation. You don't know. So the Lord says, so you'll see, you pray. You put action behind your prayers. You see what I'm saying? You stay righteous in all your doings. You don't know what the situation or circumstance is meant for your good or is meant, it might seem bad, but it's merely meant for your good. You see what I'm saying? That's what this precept's talking about. Drop that. Go into a little bit more on abortions. Like I said, our sisters, or one of the sisters who prayed, I'm gonna get into that aspect too. The sisters who prayed about, prayed against being barren and not having children. You know what I'm saying? But now it's looked at as a good thing to not have children. Give me Deuteronomy 28:56. And somebody give me Exodus 20:13. Hold on. Got these precepts. I'm gonna get through this abortion because the accounts are gonna be kind of lengthy. Who got Exodus 20:13? Go ahead.
Exodus 20:13. Thou shalt not kill.
Right, thou shalt not kill. Meaning the Lord is against you murdering your own. You should not murder your own. That's a commandment. That's in the 10 Commandments. Go ahead.
Esau doesn't count it as killing because they say the baby doesn't have consciousness yet.
That's Esau.
That's what I've heard them say.
But that's Esau. Esau doesn't regard our laws and our way of life. He doesn't even regard your own life. Go ahead. You want to say something, Swat?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what I'm saying, just the sperm alone is a living organism.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even at that stage, it's life. You know what I'm saying? Esau's a dumb. But you know, yeah.
So like it. He said, go ahead.
Yeah, so if they say it's okay to kill because the baby's not conscious yet and it's not born.
Hey, Bubba Kashak, could you give me a napkin?
Does that mean you can kill somebody when they're sleeping because they're not conscious yet? Right?
That's Esau's logic for you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's Esau's logic for you. So like it. That brother is funny. Somebody give me a Deuteronomy 28. I appreciate it. Deuteronomy 28:56. Bubba Kashak.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 56.
Now this is a curse that's speaking to us that will happen to us if we don't keep the laws of the Lord, right? Hold on. Hold this. Give me Luke 23:29. How were you? Yeah. Can you hear me? Let me use. So like it says, the scripture in Exodus that we just read was Exodus 1:15 through 16 and 17. Exodus 1:15 through 17. Then we read Exodus 20:13 and how you should not kill. Right? Now we're gonna get some more of these precepts about abortion. Then I'm gonna bring out accounts concerning, how sisters pray to the Lord and strive to have children. But first we're gonna talk about the sisters in present time, about how they don't care to have children anymore. See what I'm saying? Shalom, sis. Go ahead. Whoever got Luke.
Okay. The book of Luke, chapter 23 and verse 29. For behold, the days are coming, in the which they shall say, blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bear.
Right. This is it. It's go up one verse.
The book of Luke, chapter 23 and verse 29. Verse 27. 29. Is it 28? 28.
Yeah, 28.
The book of Luke, chapter 23 and verse 28. But Yahushua turning unto them said, daughters of Jerusalem.
All right, so hold on. Go up one more verse.
The book of Luke, chapter 23 and verse 27. And there followed him a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him, Verse 28.
This is Yahushua going up to be persecuted and executed. Sloppy. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Verse 28. But Yahushua turning unto them said, Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children.
So look, Christ is giving them a warning to the future times, to today's time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Weep not for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children. Because why? Go ahead. Stay with me.
Yeah, my freaking page. Verse 28. But Yahushua turning unto them said, Daughters of Jerusalem.
Speaking to the Israelites, go ahead.
Weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children.
Weep for yourselves and for your children. Why? Keep going.
Verse 29. For behold, the days are coming in the which they shall say, Blessed are the barren.
Right. Blessed are the barren. Blessed are the women who have no children. Right. That's right now. How they promote like women not having children. They say if you were, what is it? What's the age most women start having children? Like 19, 20, or maybe the early 20s?
Let's go.
From Fresno, 14.
That's not too wild. I'll be damned if my daughter having a baby at 14. But I'm saying like the average age most sisters get pregnant. Like I seen somebody make a post on Facebook, and a lot of sisters commented. It was like they were saying like 19. They were saying like some of them said 20. Some of them said like 18. You know, some of them said they had a younger age, but some of them said like 22, that they got pregnant at that age. Like that's like, so I'll give it about 18 to 22, 23. That's about what the earliest most women have a child, right? They would, when you having a child that young, your peoples from the world will usually tell you that's going to be a hindrance to your life.
Yeah.
That's going to stop you from going to college, doing the things you want to do, all this different type of stuff. And it could. You know what I'm saying? It absolutely could. It could stop you from going to college and doing traveling, doing things you want to do for yourself. But as a person in that situation, you're pregnant now. Is that really the mindset you want to have now that you know that you're carrying your child? Oh, I can't go to college no more. I can't do this. But you can still finish school though. You know what I'm saying? You can still do the things. It's women that finish college, you know, going having children.
That's right.
It's women that took a break. Okay, let me have my child first and let me go back. This is why you got to know who you having your baby by first off. Because if he ain't no good, nothing ass Negro, ain't gonna help you, and you opened your legs to him, and now you stuck in with no help, then that's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? Then that's not good, because a man would motivate you. Okay, baby, go to college, I'll watch the kids, or figure it out. You got his family to lean on, you got their family to lean on. Y'all got a support system. But if you're doing it all on your own, then it's kind of tougher. But you can still do it. But back to my point of what I was saying, of you have to now, coming into that, you have to now change your mindset on how you think about your situation. Yeah, I can't probably move how I wanted to or did, but is that going to make me want to kill this child that's within me? Is that how the limits, is that how much your selfishness is over that child's life? You see what I'm saying? Or is that how much going to college means to you, to kill that child over you just going to college? Is that more than that? You see what I'm saying? Like I said, you can take a break from it, come back to it later. You see what I'm saying? Have that, what your family and what your friends might put into your mind should be a sense of helping you get through that, helping you to shoot. Hey, if you need anything, or you need me to watch the child for you while you finish school, or you need me to, you see how Satan gets in your ear, how the reality of it will be negative rather than trying to help you with a positive. See what I'm saying? It should be a blessing. The Lord counts the children as a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Right. You should understand that we having these children, it's a beautiful thing. Some women can't even bear children. They went their whole life without having children. 50, 60 years old, ain't got no kids. See what I'm saying? Never got to enjoy seeing somebody call them mom, or reach up to them and give them a hug, and somebody show them that unconditional love. They never got to see that. And you just have you on your 10th abortion, 4th abortion. You see what I'm saying? No regard, no filter, just out here catching bodies. Salakia. You know what I'm saying? You really are. And Yahweh Shah is warning his sister, don't wait for me. Because there's going to become a time where they're going to promote you being a mom a woman that doesn't have no children. A woman that doesn't, that's the right thing to do. Not have kids, finish, do this, and that. Right? Other than have kids, other than have a family, other than being a wife, which the Lord intended you to be. Right? Read that one more time.
Okay. The book of Luke, chapter 23.
Slacky, then the sister said she was kicked out because she wasn't getting an abortion.
Man,
that's deep. You see how Satan wants you. The world is designed because they want you to kill your seed, and that influence is so strong that it becomes a thing that is passed down from generation to generation. They then persecuted us for, like I said, like I brought us, like a tongue tie, like I brought in Egypt. They didn't persecuted us for having kids back in Egypt. They wanted the midwives to kill the newborns. They didn't persecute it because they didn't heard of the Savior coming by Yahweh. Said it was trying to kill off all the boys in crisis time. We've been persecuted and told us that us having children is the wrong thing for a long time. When if you read these accounts, which we're going to get into, that it's sisters that prayed to have children. They wanted to give their husband a son. They wanted to give their husband a family. They wanted to be a mom. You see what I'm saying? These are things that they strive for. These are things that they wanted. And we have been so far knocked down from that to look at us having children as a hindrance. You see what I'm saying? It's hard having children. For those who have children, they know it's things that you go through having children. But the gratification you get from seeing your child wake up, smile at you, calling you mama and father, and then you teaching them the things and they learn, and you can see that they just like you. They have your mannerisms, they have your ways, or they have their father's ways, or you like your mother in this aspect. It's a beautiful thing. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's a beautiful thing, and the Lord has put you in a valuable position. He's put you in a valuable position, and that position is you are in charge of a life. You are here to guide a life in this world, whether you do it right, whether you do it wrong. You in charge of a life. That's the bottom fact of it. And what are you going to do now that you're put in that position? That's why I said people are telling you about college and traveling and your life and this and that. Is that the right mindset to have when you know that you're pregnant with a child? No. It's like, okay, I should be adjusting to try to make sure I can still do what I want to do and still have this baby and give this baby the proper life that it needs. See what I'm saying? Instead of being a woman that just aborting baby. I'm having sex with this dude, got pregnant by him, aborted this baby, had sex by this dude, aborted. See the cycle? That's just wicked. How many babies you gonna kill? Right. God damn. Obviously, you got pregnant 8 times. You should try to have one of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know what I mean? But what did I call for? Who got Deuteronomy 28?
Oh, I got it.
28:56. Give me Job, what is that? Dang, Job 39:16.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 56.
Mm-hmm.
The tender and delicate woman, Salakia. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
Okay, hold on. Now this goes back to what I'm saying. The Lord describes you. This is a curse of the Lord. That's how you know we going through these curses as a people. The Lord describes you as a tender, delicate woman. Sisters that don't even want to touch her bare foot on the ground. You know what I'm saying? This type of sisters we were. This the type of esteem we held ourselves to. You have now been a tender, delicate woman, and you turned your, what does it say? You turned your delicateness and tenderness, right?
Her, would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
Now you hate your husband, right? This is what we fell from, that tenderness and that delicateness, that was striving to want to have a family and loving our household, that Proverbs 14:1, building our household. Now we turn into a woman that plucks it down, right? Go ahead.
Okay. And toward her son, and toward her daughter,
right?
Verse 57. And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet.
Right. You now hate your husband, your children, your daughters. Why? Why do you hate them? Because they stopped me from living my life. They stopped me from going to college. They stopped me from whatever the hell it is that you thought you had ambitions for. You feel your children stopped you from doing it. And it's a form of selfishness, right? It's a form of selfishness that you have. And now I know this is a topic that's touchy for, you know what I'm saying, sisters, and for brothers who then encourage sisters to get abortions, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a gift that you have, it's a shameful thing that you've done. But now, how do you correct that? How do you move forward? Do you even really want to move forward? Or you still feel like, shoot, I want to live my life and be the selfish person I was before? You see what I'm saying? Are you going to keep being the woman of these curses? Or are you going to try to do the act to reverse these curses? Just like a brother, you're going to keep being a gang member and killing off your people? No, you're going to stop that. Reform yourself and change. Follow the laws of the Lord and be somebody different. Repent. Repentance is truly turning away from who you used to be. Kind of. Yeah, I hear it too. To truly repent and turn away from who you what was I saying? From who you want, it's like repentance is truly turning away from, walking away from who you once were to be somebody who you need to be. And that's the person of the Lord. Following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. It's like, hey, not to go with that, brother, real quick. What precept you hold?
Job 39:16.
Go ahead, read that.
Job 39:16. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear.
Right. Her labor is in vain without fear. She's hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. She don't care about these kids. Even though they came from her, she doesn't care about them no more. She's hardening her heart against them. She hates the fact that she's having children. This was Yahweh was warning the sisters of Jerusalem back at that time. They're gonna promote you being barren. They're gonna promote you being not having no children. When this was something that was strived for by sisters. Let's drop this. No, give me one. I'll come back to this. Give me Genesis, because there was a lot of sisters barren in the Bible. Rachel. Y'all know Rachel, right? Y'all know who Rachel is in the Bible? Rachel, Rebecca, Hannah, Elizabeth. Hannah is Samuel's mom. Elizabeth was John the Baptist's mom. Rebecca obviously was Esau and Jacob's mom. Rachel was Dan, Naphtali, and Joseph's mom. Right? Give me Sarah, which was our foremother, Abraham and Sarah. Right? Give me Genesis 17:17.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed, and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old?
Right, so Abraham is an old man at this time, and the Lord is promising him that he 100-something years old, and Sarah ain't had no child at 100-something years old, and he's old, and they old. He's like, and the Lord's still promising him that he's going to have a seed, and the seed that Sarah gives you is going to be the one I choose to deal with, right? Keep going.
And shall Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going, sir.
Time.
Verse 18. And Abraham said unto God, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19.
So Abraham saying, I already have his son Ishmael. May he live before you? Right? What the Lord said.
And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed,
Mm-hmm.
and thou shalt call his name Isaac.
Right.
And I will establish my covenant with him
Mm-hmm.
for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 20.
Right, no, drop that. Give me Genesis 21. So now that's what the Lord is establishing. He's telling him, Abraham's like, man, I'm old. My wife is 90 years old. Like, we're going to have a child in our old age. And the Lord's like, Abraham's like, see, like, you can just have Ishmael. I already have a son. But Ishmael was by who? Y'all know? Ishmael's mother? Hagar, right? And she was a what? A heathen. Hagar was the heathen. And the Lord's like, no. That's not who I'm saying that's not the son I want. The son I want, you're gonna have it by your kinswoman. Right? Keep going. And they not taking it serious because it's like, man, we old. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2, Genesis the 21st. This is start over, sir.
Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 21, verse 1. And the Lord visited Sarah and as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age.
Right.
At the set time of which God had spoken to him.
Right. So you having these children, I bring this account out because it showed that they were barren and they had children. They didn't believe that they could have children. Well, Abraham knew he could, but he didn't believe his wife could. She had a child. At the set time, the Lord wanted her to have a child. You have a child, it's the set time. You find you pregnant, it's the Lord ordained that time for you to have a child. Value that. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be like, oh, it's not right for me. The Lord is saying this is the right time to have the child. We brought that out in Ecclesiastes 11:5 about how you don't know if this is for the good or bad situation is for your good. You don't know the ways of the Lord. Your thoughts are not the ways, the thoughts of the Lord. He's giving you a child. Embrace that. It's a beautiful thing. You lie down. You made love, right? You know what I'm saying? You had a good time. So the Lord's bringing a goodly spirit through y'all. You know what I'm saying? You showed the Lord you was ready when you chose to lie down. Right?
That's right.
Come on.
So now what? You don't want to live with the consequences of this? You don't go murder? Scripture says thou shalt not kill. You don't go murder your own seed? Lie. That's not the aspect. That's not the mindset you're going to have. Because if you do, you're still living these curses. You're still living a person, and you're still living like the woman of Deuteronomy 28:56 through 57. You're still living like the woman spoken of in Job 39:16. You're still living like the woman in Isaiah 49:15. We didn't pull that, but that's a precept y'all can have. Give me Psalms 127:3, right? You also got Matthew 5:21, where it speaks of, you hear about the times of when you kill, you should be in danger of judgment. How many times are you going to put your life in danger of judgment? You know what I'm saying? In danger of murder. How many times are you going to promote a sister to kill off your seed, making her a murderer and you an accomplice to a murder? You know what I'm saying? The Lord is appointing a time for you to have children. It's a beautiful thing. Why? Because it's precept. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 127 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord,
mm-hmm.
and the fruit of the womb is his reward.
Children are a heritage of the Lord. You birthing children to bring yourself back. You You see what I'm saying? That's your heritage. So you can come back one day. That's the whole point of you living your life right. Because, okay, I mean, this is a whole different topic, but I'm going to break it down for y'all real quick. You could pay, okay, you can sin now, right? And you can pay for it in your next life. You know that, right? You can sin now and pay for it. Like, you know, that's why some people, nothing happened to them after their first or second abortion. So they're like, okay, keep doing it. I'm good. You can pay for your sins in your next life. There's no escaping judgment. So when you see these instances of women's like, oh, I had done nothing wrong in my life, and I got raped, or I got this, I got that. It could have been instances of what you've done prior to, or you know what I'm saying, or you could have just been, or how brothers just get shot. It could have been situations that you've done previous. That now you got to go through this life with this burden, and how are you going to persevere through it? You see what I'm saying? That's your test. You got your judgment from your previous life, or you just got a burden put on you. But how are you going to persevere? Like Job was a perfect man, but he got all this thrown on him, and he had to persevere through it. See what I'm saying? Yahweh was a perfect man. He got all this stuff thrown on him, but he had to persevere through it. But we know we come from a line of, if you been born, if you here now, you done probably been birthed back in a couple times by now. You know what I'm saying? You probably did some wicked things. So our struggle is from our wickedness prior to. You see what I'm saying? That's why we're going through it now from our forefathers. And we are the heritage of our forefathers. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of tricky, but if you follow me, you understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important for you to teach your children to do the right thing, and you do the right thing. So by the time your children come around and it's time for you to get birthed back in, you're birthed back into the right thing. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not, oh, I don't care about them, or this is now you teach your children the wrong thing. And now by the time it's your turn to get birthed back in, you birth back into a hellhole. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or you birth back into wickedness. Children all serving other gods, and you back at square one from when you died. You didn't try to teach her. You didn't try to turn your life around, teach her something different, something new, something right. And you know, it might have happened for a generation, but by the time that third generation come around, they back to in the Christian church. So now you being birthed back in, you back in a Christian church. See what I'm saying? Ain't that hell? Would you want that for yourself?
No.
That's why it's important for you as a parent. Go ahead, sis. You got a question?
Why are we rebirth back into the world?
Oh, I don't want to give you the wrong answer. Why? From my knowledge, it's the way the Lord set it up. But I don't want to give you the wrong answer. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna get throw my own just because I want to give you an answer to give you the wrong thing. That's a question I don't have to ask. Why we are. But from my knowledge, that's the way the Lord set it up. I read it. I got the breakdown on it. I never questioned it since. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, Kevin Goodall, Kevin Kwan, anybody, they'll give you the answer for you. I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? You got something you want to say, Swap?
Yeah, just on how you was talking about just people who believe it's like bad to have kids or let the world tell them whatever, you know, that just folks from like back what you saying, anything outside these precepts, you know what I'm saying, are false. We gotta go back and remember what the Lord told us of what man and people tell us to put in our, you know what I'm saying, as Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord, that's one thing I remember reading since I was a kid over and over again, be fruitful and multiply.
Right, I was just about to bring that out.
And when you have kids, you want to raise them in the way they should go. And you should take pride into raising not to be like the world, but to serve the Lord. You know, so these are the things that as Israel, that we should take joy in. Not I understand if you want to go to college and all that stuff, cool, but it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not, there's no value in that. Value is in serving and doing what the Lord told us to do.
Solomon was a wise man, right? Wise of all, out the nation.
That's right.
I say second to Yahweh, right? He gave us, he didn't studied and did all different kind of things. had lots of women, then had all the riches, then had traveled, then he didn't did it all. Had lots of children, and he didn't came to a conclusion. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, he said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. That's for the whole duty of man is to fear the Lord and serve him. He, out of all that he did throughout his life, he realized he had riches. He was a king. He ain't like, it wasn't nothing for him just to go get the best room in the best city and live here and live there. It was nothing for him to do that. He did it. And he said, out of all that I've done in my life, and all the wisdom that I've gained, the duty of us is just to serve the Lord.
Right.
That's the value of all of it. Do anything. So it's not. I'm not saying in this kingdom don't better yourself. Don't get me wrong what I'm saying. But when the opportunity comes for you to have a child, or the opportunity comes for you to be a mother or be a father, embrace that too. Just like you would embrace a new job, just like you would embrace that degree, embrace that as well. That's an accolade that you should not look at as a bad thing, but you should look at, I'm a mother. You know what I'm saying? I have not only am I a manager or a nurse practitioner over this clinic, I'm a mother who's in charge of a life, an Israelite life at that. You see what I'm saying? That's valued in this life. That's like the Lord looks at that more than he looks at you being a nurse practitioner. He's looking at how you deal with this child and deal with your husband and deal with your family more than he looks at how you are at your workplace. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Likewise for husbands. He's looking at what you're doing as a father, as a husband, and as a priest or future priest, more than he's looking at what you're doing at your slavery. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's what he values more, because that's what really matters in this life. See what I'm saying? You here to do that work, not you doing that work to get by. You see what I'm saying? You doing this work to truly live. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. What you're trying to do, like you heard of generational wealth. By you serving the Lord, that's what you're building, your generational wealth. White people do it as far as monetary gain. That's why they build up these trillions and billions and gazillions, all the money that they got. I probably got the order mixed up, but that's what they do. And they build it up that way because they want to make sure that my heritage is good this way. You build it up spiritually. So where now you make sure your heritage is good this way. You see what I'm saying? That's how you do it. So you got to value these children. That's the important part. You have to value your life enough and fear the Lord enough to serve your children. When you implement that into their lives, like you said, the scriptures say, raise up a child and which way they may go. The Lord told you from the beginning, Genesis 1:28, be fruitful and multiply. Why would he tell you that if children is such a bad thing? Esau telling you children is such a bad thing. Why would the Lord tell you, be fruitful and multiply? Why would he tell you that? So the Lord is wrong in what he's saying? I would dare to say that. I fear the Lord too much. Say the Lord is wrong. That's why what Sis said. He told me we rebirth. Hey, we rebirth. That's how it is. And sometimes you get that feeling of that little deja vu, like, dang, I done been here. So I done did this before. I don't know if y'all did, but it happens to me sometimes. I'm like, dang, I done did this before. But you know, it is what it is. Let's drop that. Give me was there any more on what I called for?
We were on Psalms 127.
Dang, it's 8:23. Psalms 127. Did you give me to 5?
We went to 4.
Okay, keep going. Bring it again from the top.
Come. The book of Psalms, chapter 127 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward.
Right.
Verse 4. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth.
Right. Children, it's like arrows in the hand of a brother, or bullets in the hand of a brother excellent with the gun. So are children in the hand of a mighty priest.
That's right.
Because why? You are now combating you are now able to combat and bring more soldiers into this world, more people with the same like-mindedness as you, then how this world's trying to destroy us. You see what I'm saying? And likewise for the sister, blessed be that sister's womb that keeps bringing in these type of brothers into this world. We need more of them like him, because anybody that ever try to revolutionize or go up against America, what they try to do, they try to kill them, or they have killed them. You see what I'm saying? Any slave revolts, they done burnt us and hanged us and all kind of things like that. And look, I'm gonna tell you like this too. If sisters in slavery, let me tell you this, sisters in slavery and brothers in slavery was getting beat, whooped under the most cruel conditions, they wanted to separate from the white man so bad. I got this book, I don't know if I bought it, but it's called the slave, it's like, I forget the exact name, I ain't gonna quote the wrong name, but it's basically a book of where slaves they got emancipated, so now they give their accounts of slavery. So they talk about the abuse that they went to. They talk about how they used to live. They talk about how the family structure was. They talked about how the work days was. They talked about what it was like to get beat. They talk about that. Slaves that survived. This is what they talk about. Some of them, they seen, certain things, how they went through their sisters having to raise them because their mama died and their daddy wasn't there and all this type of stuff, being sold off. They talk about these accounts. And if these brothers and sisters was keeping their children during this, I'm talking, they was having 5, 6 kids. If these brothers was keeping their children, these sisters was not aborting no babies. What? And you in a society like you are now, you ain't under that direct slavery like that, being beaten and whipped. Come on now, you can keep these babies. They living in shacks, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? They was raising babies, sleeping on all their children, 6, 5 kids sleeping on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Working 14-hour days, making pennies on a dollar. And these sisters kept their children and would read them and sing to them and pray to them and give them scriptures. You know what I'm saying? I was reading these accounts. These sisters did these things. So rocking them in a rocking chair, telling them, the Lord gonna save us. The Lord gonna save us. They valued being a mother more than they valued anything else, right? Let me, you got something you want to say, Swap?
Yes, sir. I just want to say it's crazy because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the black, Hispanics, and natives, like, they encourage us to kill our babies, but you look at the heathens and they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Asians, I grew up around a lot of Asians.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They have whole families and houses. You know what I'm saying? Just you never see them running to the abortion clinics or nothing like that.
No, they're gonna keep all of them. They're gonna keep them all. You know what I'm saying? And I salute the Hispanic family for doing that. You know what I'm saying? They keep all their children. Not saying that Hispanics don't get abortions. They're the second out of the colored ethnicity. They're the second. They're the second. The first is blacks. The second is Hispanics, and they consider like natives others, but Native Americans is right under that. We the highest in the abortions. I was looking at a chart in 2018. White people gradually moving up there though, and I was like, most high in Christ. I was like, yeah, let them start practicing what they preach. They preach abortion. Let them start getting these abortions in. This was a chart I seen in 2018. White people was edging up there. Boom. It's like black people was like still like 44%, and I think white women were like 32 or 38. I'm roughly, I don't really remember correctly, but it was right there, right under us. Then there was Hispanic at 25 or 22, right? And a lot of them were saying that single women get the abortions. And a lot of women, I was looking at the chart, they said a lot of women that were single, they got the abortions. And a lot of them said it was single women that got the abortions, and also that a person who got an abortion before was more likely to get an abortion again. Now, people who were married and stayed with the man that they were with didn't really get abortions. That percentage was really low, like 5 or 3%. But people who were single and had gotten an abortion before will more than likely got an abortion again. See what I'm saying? This was like a diagram I was looking at. I was like, dang, I didn't know that. But it makes sense because you got an abortion for a reason before, whether your family pressures you into it or not. So now you being a young girl, let's say you're 14, 15 years old, you got an abortion, your family push you in there, you're too young to have a baby. Okay. Right? So now by the time you're 20, 25, 10 years later, you're like, okay, I got a baby, I'm not ready for that. But since your family didn't teach you the right way, no, you chose to be like this, you have this baby, you move forward and you learn how to deal with this. Now you're like, you was out there living wild and free again. You see what I'm saying? Because you didn't understand the consequence of your action. You see what I'm saying? That's why correction is important. Like, I know people who have got, who their family didn't let them get an abortion. They was young. It's a Hispanic family. Their family did not let that woman get an abortion. She was like 12 or 13 years old. Made her keep that baby. Guess how wise she is now. The next man she wished she stayed with, and then she had babies by him, and they ain't broke up since. You see what I'm saying? That's how you would treat that situation. You got to train your children right. You are in charge of their lives. Yeah, children might stray off, might go off and do the wrong thing, but it's up to you to correct them, and you're in charge of their life. See what I'm saying? Drop that. Let me get where I want to go. Give me Exodus 23 and 26. Somebody give me Deuteronomy 7 and 14. I gotta breeze through these because we're running short on time. I want to get to these accounts real quick. And give me Psalms 128 and 3. Like I brought out, Rachel was barren, and Jacob prayed for Rachel. I mean, Rachel despised. Should I get that real quick? Rachel hated her sister. I don't know if you all know about this. Jacob, and he didn't know he had two sisters as wives, right? Leah and Rachel. And Leah was fruitful. He's not the wife that Jacob really wanted, but she gave Jacob seed, right? She gave Jacob seed, and Jacob honored her for that. Because like any real man, woman give you some child, you're gonna you have a respect for her. That's why in the world it has a negative connotation of it'd be like sisters use it like me and Natazak was talking about earlier. Once a wicked woman get a little bit of control over you, they try to like abuse that power. You know what I'm saying? Likewise for a brother, if you get a wicked brother get control over you, try to abuse that power. But like a righteous brother having a son or having a daughter, or having a child at all, they respect the woman carrying that child for them. You see what I'm saying? Naturally they will. They're like, damn, this woman, look at her. Her body changing. She going through all this pain and struggle for me and for that seed. Right. That should be looked at like righteous brothers look at that like, damn, Most High in Christ, I appreciate this woman for that. You know what I'm saying? Her sacrifice, her love for me and for what we made. You see what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. So now you hold that. But a wicked woman will twist that like, I had your kids and this and that. And they try to abuse that power or that respect that you gave her. And likewise for a brother. He was like, she wanted to have my kids, she had my kids, so she gonna do whatever she want to do for me. That's a wicked aspect, a wicked way to think about a person having your child. You see what I'm saying? Right. It shouldn't be held over your head like that. It should be something that is your mutual respect, right? Give me what did I call for?
Exodus 22 and 20.
23 and 26.
Oh God.
Okay, but before you get to that, like I was saying about Rachel, so Leah was having children, right? And Rachel was envied her sister for having children. Now, if having children wasn't valued, why would Rachel even envy her sister for having children?
Right.
That shows you that beforehand, children were like a trophy. Like how you got a good job, nice car, good house. That's like a trophy nowadays. Having children, being fruitful was like, man, I'm gonna give me a husband. I'm gonna have like 20 kids. You know what I'm saying? That was like the mindset of our sisters. And a sister that was barren was kind of like, she felt bad. Like, dang, I'm not giving my husband the joy of having a child. I'm not having the joy of having a child. You see what I'm saying? And the Lord blessed Rachel eventually and opened her womb and gave her children. She had Dan, Naphtali, and Joseph. Go ahead. That's right.
Salaki, sir, I want to add in also, that just shows the mindset also, like you were putting in, like the mindset of a woman's role back in those days. Like her jealousy wasn't that he had more than one woman. Her jealousy came because she couldn't be fruitful like her sister was.
Right. That's what it was.
Yeah, she couldn't give him a legacy like her sister was. It wasn't, and oh yeah, well, what does he see in her that she don't see in me? And it was more so just bringing him, you know what I mean, his legacy. It wasn't, the focus wasn't on that, okay, why he got her, like why he keep her around.
Right. And that's what it is with a lot of sisters nowadays, right? But that's a whole breakdown in itself, the multiple wives breakdown. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The sisters wasn't focused on him having another woman. Like they knew the aspect of children being a heritage, children being a blessing from the Lord.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They knew that children was a thing that the Lord gave them. And I'm pretty sure like they kind of felt like their marriage was incomplete without children. You see what I'm saying? Like, dang, like, I know he loved me, I know he cared for me, I know we this, we that, but I have not gave this man a child yet. See what I'm saying? Rather than, shit, I love this man, but shit, I ain't giving him no kid, I ain't carrying no kid. That's the mindset sisters have nowadays, and brothers like, so I don't want no kids right now, I'm good. She get pregnant, abort, get on birth control. I don't want no kids. That's the wrong mindset to have. I'd say birth control is a sin. Don't get me wrong. Hold on, let me clear that up right now. Birth control is not a sin. Whether y'all agree on it or not, you know what I'm saying? Y'all should agree on it together as a family unit. But you know what I'm saying? Birth control is not a sin, right? So give me what I call for Exodus 23.
Okay. The book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 26.
Bear with me, y'all. Select it. Go ahead.
There shall nothing cast their young, nor be barren in thy land.
Right. So this is Moses. This is the Lord talking to Moses and telling him. Read that one more time.
Okay. There shall nothing cast their young, nor be barren.
Hold on. Are you reading that correctly?
Okay.
Get there with you right quick. Do Exodus 20. All right, so we read Genesis 1 and 28. So the Lord tells us to be fruitful and multiply. Here is something, but go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 26. There shall nothing cast their young.
Right, you're right. Okay, go ahead.
Nor be barren in thy land. The number of thy days I will fulfill.
Right, so the Lord telling you like there shall nothing cast your young, because in the previous verse was talking about being sick and all that type of stuff. He's saying that no woman shall be barren. Meaning this nation is going to grow. Like we getting shot down and incarcerated at this. It's brothers that in prison right now. They've been in prison since they were juveniles. Right, and I'm talking about lots of brothers. They've been in prison since they were juveniles and are never getting out. And never knows what it's like to know a woman. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of them. Not just like you might think like, oh, there's a few of them here and there. No, it's a lot of brothers like that that have been to juvenile hall, got sent to YA, and from YA they went to prison, and from prison they never get out. See what I'm saying? They never know what it's like that. And it's a lot of people who in there in jail too that don't have sons, don't have daughters, don't have kids at all. It's a lot of people in the world that children, they hold all their children have been killed. You know what I'm saying? Whether due to gang violence, police brutality, or whatever the case may be, sickness. So then now their heritage is cut off. We dying at an alarming rate. So why not have as much kids as you can? You see what I'm saying? Why not bring them back in some way, some shape, some form? Like are you not a Judite? Are you not an Israelite? Are they not your brethren? You can birth them back in. You see what I'm saying? Brother that don't got no sons, he had all daughters. You think his when he dead now, he can't get birthed back in? No, he's a Gadite. Another Gadite brother will bring that brother back in. You see what I'm saying? That's the beauty of having children, right? What's on Exodus? Any questions y'all might have? If I can answer, my answer. If I can't, I'm gonna pass it out to the next brother that could. Give me Deuteronomy 7:14.
Deuteronomy 7:14.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt be blessed above all people.
Right.
There shall not be male or female barren among you.
Right. So being barren and not having kids was the Lord was telling y'all gonna have children. Being barren was not a thing that to be glad about. The Lord wants you to have kids, y'all. I'm telling you right now, the Lord wants to see children.
Right.
And us being fruitful as a nation. That's what he strives for. Right? Definitely brothers and sisters in the truth. I remember like back when I had my son, everybody was having I feel like everybody in the UPK was having a kid. This is back like 2019, 2020. Everybody was pregnant. It was, baby's here. We just had all. They just had this. I'm like, Most High in Christ. It's a baby boom. The Lord want to see us fruitful and multiply.
Right.
Definitely brothers and sisters in this truth. And if you're not a brother and sister in this truth, if you are brothers and sisters in truth, you ain't had a child, be patient. Pray for it. The Lord, Isaac then prayed for Rebecca, and Rebecca's womb was open. See what I'm saying? Isaac wanted to have a baby by Rebecca. Lord, open the womb of my wife. And he had a child. See what I'm saying? That's love. You see what I'm saying? That's love. You want to have a child by somebody that you with, that's love. Because in this society today, women don't strive for that. They just want, and men don't strive for it either. They just want to live their life and be riches and money and whores and whatever the hell. I don't know what they do no more. I don't do none of that stuff, so I don't really be knowing. That's what they strive for. All the other wickedness and abominations that are against the Lord. When the Lord is telling you a righteous seed, a righteous household, a poor man is better than a poor man with wisdom is better than a rich man with riches. A rich man without wisdom. See what I'm saying? So it's better to be your poor man and giving your children all the wisdom in the world than to be that rich man giving your children all the wickedness in the world and exposing them to all different kind of deviancies, right? Give me where did Isaac? I wrote it down where Isaac prayed. Where Isaac prayed to the Lord. I called something to up, or you got something?
It's Psalms 128.
128:3. Go ahead, read that for me.
Psalms chapter 128, verse 3. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house.
Mm-hmm.
Thy children like olive plants round about thy table.
That's what the Lord is describing that the kind. That's what the Lord is describing us to be. You want your wife to be fruitful and gave you seed. Definitely if you're a righteous brother. Definitely if you're a brother that's doing the right thing. He wants you to have kids on kids on kids.
Wow.
And it shouldn't like, I understand giving your woman like back-to-back kids. Like give your woman some time to let her body recover, let her feel confident about herself again.
Wow.
Let her feel, you know what I'm saying? And unless she just want to have them back-to-back like that, but give her time to recover. I get that. But don't let her tell you she don't want to have no more kids. Like, and look, I'm gonna bring out this account from King David. I'm gonna paraphrase it, but King David, right? He was out there dancing and having a good time, celebrating the victory, and his rod had slipped out. So his wife, King Saul's daughter, was watching him the whole time. It was like looking like when he came back home, she had told him like, oh, how good is the king? Wait, let's pull this real quick. Give me where is it at? Where's that at?
That's
1 Kings.
Lucky.
No, it's not. It's 2 Samuel 6. or 1 Samuel 6, one of those. And he told her, and the fact that he even told her this shows you how important it was to have kids. He told her, I'm not putting my seed in you no more. Right? And he didn't put his seed in, she didn't have children by Saul all his days. Not hurt her. You see what I'm saying? But that shows you how important it was for a woman to have children. That he gave her that judgment. Like, I'm not giving you no seed. You see what I'm saying?
Shit like, damn, how glorious is the king.
Yeah, she's like, she was mocking. He came into the door. She was mocking him. Like, how glorious is the king that all his handmaidens didn't seen your rod. And he was like, okay. She said, I'm the king. I'm gonna play in front of the Lord. I'm gonna celebrate in front of the Lord. We didn't have a victory. That's what I'm gonna do. She said, and he said, basically like, since you talking to me this way, all them handmaidens that you so worried about, I'm gonna be more base than this. I'm gonna get all them handmaidens that you talking about and make them my wife. Because the way she came at him because what scripture described it said when she seen that she despised her husband. Right? She hated her husband for that. So when she came, when Israelite woman, she came to that door, she gave him that lip off top and came at him, and he was like, "I'm not the king that the Lord anointed over your father." You know what I'm saying? And since you want to come at me like this, them handmaids that you talking about, I'm gonna go get all of them to be my wife. And he didn't have seed with her. And since the fact that he even brought that, we don't gotta get it. The fact that he even brought that up to her about not giving her no seed shows the value that our sisters had in having a child by a man. And he knew that.
All right.
See what I'm saying? He knew that. And he was like, no. Right? Give me I want to get this account before I go. Give me 1 Kings 3. 1 Kings, the 3rd chapter.
Is it in 1 Samuel or 1 Kings?
1 Kings. We gonna jump that out and basically explain the whole account. We gonna jump that. We gonna get this one. And not getting abortions, having abortions and stuff like this. I want to say this real quick. Will cause a leanness to your spirit, right? Because you won't be the person that you were, that baby would have made you to be. Through the perseverance, let's say you have to struggle. Some people have a baby and it's a perfect situation. Some people have a baby, it's not that good situation. But the struggle, the perseverance that you show, the responsibility that you take on, like, as a child, your parents give you responsibilities to build your character. The responsibility that you take on for raising a child or having a child builds your character. You see what I'm saying? Like, or not to get too personal, I had my first child at 19 years old. You see what I'm saying? I'm 26 now. At 19, I didn't know what the hell to do or what kind of man I was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in the world at the time. I didn't know what the hell was going on. But it built my character. I knew that I was no longer living for myself, but I had somebody I had to take care of. Right. And I was going to make sure that I was a good father, that my children knew I was there and that I loved them and I took care of them. See what I'm saying? And I was going to make sure I taught my children the right way. You see what I'm saying? Whether with the way I knew at that time was the wrong way, I'm here now to teach them the right way. You see what I'm saying? But that was my whole thing. So it'll build that burden will build your responsibility factor, which will build your character. If you just out here just having sex and saying fuck it, then now what? You bring the leanness to your spirit, and eventually your judgment will be that. You see what I'm saying? But what I call for 1 Kings 3. Now this is an account. And shows how much we talked about how the Job 39 and 16 how have a hardness to her heart towards the children of her that come from between her own feet. This account shows a sister actually loving her child so much that she's willing to give her child away. Now let me show you. Go ahead.
chapter 3 and
3 and 1.
okay. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 3 and verse 1. And Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter and brought her into the city of David until he had made an end of building his own house and the house of the Lord and the wall of Jerusalem round about.
Go ahead.
It's like a quick question on that one. So when he brought her into the house, he didn't wife her yet. He just brought her to his home.
Yeah, not yet. Solomon. He was that brother wanted. He liked what he. If it was a beautiful woman, he liked it.
Right.
And he most likely wiped it. But go ahead.
Okay. Verse 2. Only the people sacrificed in high places, because there was no house built unto the name of the Lord.
Let me get there with you real quick, so I can tell you what to skip down to.
This is when you ask the Lord for wisdom.
Go ahead, drop down to that part.
Slakia. It's probably a little bit lower than that.
Verse 5. Now give me verse 5.
It's verse 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I want to bring out two aspects of this account. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, you're right. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 3 and verse 5. In Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, "Ask what I shall give thee." Verse 6. And Solomon said, Thou hast showed unto thy servant David my father great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth and in righteousness.
Right. So he was saying that you showed my father great mercy because he walked in front of you with truth and in righteousness. Right? Keep going.
And in uprightness of heart with thee. Right. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness.
Right. So if y'all have any questions, we going through this, just ask. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave here without any clarification on this account. Go ahead.
That thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne.
Right. So he's telling him that he's basically humbling himself before the Lord because he knew what type of great man. He knew the relationship that his dad had with King David. That the Lord had with his dad. So he's telling him, like, you done all this for my father. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? But now he's going to ask him something, right? Go ahead.
As it is this day. Verse 7. And now, O Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David my father.
Right. So he said, now that I'm king, the Lord, look, that's how you know the Lord knows your heart. The Lord said, ask me what you want to ask me. He knows he's going to ask him something. See what I'm saying? He's saying, ask me what you want to ask me. But King Solomon's like, hey, I know he was just like this with my dad. He was just like this with my dad. And now I'm in my dad's place. Right? Go ahead.
And I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in.
Right? So King David is young at this time that he's became king, right? Go ahead.
Verse 8. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Verse 9. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? And the speech pleased the Lord.
Right. He ain't out here praying for Lamborghinis and big houses.
Right.
He's praying to be wise, to be able to judge his people righteously, to be a true king to his people. That's what he's praying for. He's saying, you was like this and like that to my dad. I know I gotta walk rightly with you, and I will get the same thing. But he's saying, but how can I? This is a great people. This is a magnificent people that you would put me in the middle of. How do I judge them righteously? Right? And the Lord was pleased by that. Go ahead.
And the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon had asked this thing. Verse 11. And God said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself, nor hast asked the life of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee.
Right. Oh, so that's why we say Solomon is the wisest of all our kings of Israel. But nobody is wise as Solomon before, and no one was as wise as Solomon after. Right? This is Solomon getting his wisdom. Right? Go ahead, continue.
Okay. Verse 13. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, but both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. Verse 14. And if thou wilt walk in my ways to keep my statutes and my commandments, as thy father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days. And Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And he came to Jerusalem, and stood before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and offered up burnt offerings, and offered peace offerings, and made a feast to all his servants. Verse 16.
So he's had this dream, but it felt real. So Solomon went up there and was like, hey, the Lord say he did this for me, I'm going to go offer peace offerings, burnt offerings, sacrificing to the Lord. So, when we offer peace offerings and burnt offerings, what is that? Go ahead.
Forgiveness of sins.
That's like they having a function. They having a good time. He's like, you went and offer peace offerings and burnt offerings, and they, you slaughtering the lamb, you're not going to eat the lamb. They eating the lamb, they chilling, they having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 16.
He's happy. This dream. Wouldn't you be happy if the Lord came to you in a dream and blessed you with wisdom and told you this? I'm going to wake up, can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? The Lord done blessed me with wisdom. I'm happy as hell. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 16. Then came there two women that were harlots unto the king, and stood before him.
Right. Okay, hold on. Now, I'm asking y'all this question. Y'all ever prayed for something? I seen a brother make this post on Facebook. I'm asking y'all this. Y'all ever seen a brother, have y'all ever prayed for something? Right? And then right after you got done praying, it felt like either the opposite of what you prayed for is starting to happen, or you being tested right after you prayed. Like I say, somebody came and prayed, like, let me have mercy upon me, let me have meekness, humbleness, and wisdom and strength, and help me get through this and help me get through that, right? And right after you do that, it seems like what you just prayed against is like stronger against you, right? Am I the only one that happened to?
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might pray against like, help me to stop. Let's say you're trying to stop sinning, right? Help me to stop smoking. They put it in more simple terms, right? And now I feel like the weed man or your urge to smoke is just that much more stronger. Or help me to be more calm to my husband and not give him so much lip and be the wife that he wants and this and that. Now it feels like everything he do make you mad. You know what I'm saying? No, like you just want to go off that much more. See what I'm saying? Go ahead. You want to say something after that?
No, I was just going to add on, like, you pray to stop smoking weed and you get locked up and go to jail for weed.
Right. Or something in that instance. It's like, okay, the brother's post was, just because things happening after you pray is not a coincidence. That's what he said.
Right.
I was like, damn, that's heavy. Because I be praying for stuff, like, like, let me be this, that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I don't pray for, like, weird stuff, but I pray for, like, the right things. And I'm like, and it's like, after that, I'm like, man, I just prayed to not be like this, and it seems like this situation is trying to come up to make me be like this. See what I'm saying? Now Solomon, I bring that up because Solomon just prayed for wisdom and righteous discernment to judge righteously. And now what? These two harlots, which was harlots or whores back in that day, are coming up to him with a situation for him to what? Judge. See what I'm saying? Now it's like you being tested, right? But sometimes what you pray for, it isn't just given to you. You have to show the attribute. The attribute is might be yours to advance on or to move on, but you have to execute it. See what I'm saying? Like now it's like, okay, for instance, you might not have been as strong as to not smoke weed, but now that you have the wisdom to not smoke weed, the Lord is giving you another chance to show that you have the strength to not smoke weed. See what I'm saying?
Come.
Like, you might have been a loudmouth wife or whatever this and that in the past, and now as you're praying for the Lord to help you with that, you have the mindset that, okay, I know I need to be calm. I know I need to just listen. I know I need to be like this. The Lord is going to put it in your face to show yourself. See what I'm saying? Same with Solomon right here. See what I'm saying? Go ahead, read the account stuff.
Come. Verse 13. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. Verse 14. And if thou wilt walk in my ways, to keep my statutes and my commandments, as thy father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days. Verse 15. And Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream, and he came to Jerusalem and stood before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and offered up burnt offerings and offered peace offerings, and made a feast to all his servants. Verse 16. Then came there two women that were harlots unto the king, and stood before him. And the one woman said, O my Lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, right, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house.
Right.
And it came to pass the third day after that I was delivered.
Right. So look, I'm bringing this out too. This is just a two-part count. I brought out the first part, but the second part I want to bring out is these are two harlots, right? They both pregnant at the same time. They're having a baby at the same time. These two whores at this time valued having children more than anything else. They was like, if anything, we might be some whores. We gonna keep these babies. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Oh God. That this woman was delivered also, and we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house.
Right. Okay. So she's bringing out the fact that we have our babies together. Was nobody else there? We had our babies together, besides the people obviously who delivered the baby. But we had our babies at the same time. We was pregnant at the same time. Right. Bring you up to speed. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Save we two in the house. Verse 19. And this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid it.
Right. So she's saying this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid it. Anybody know what overlaying means? Go ahead, answer that.
I mean, like she like swallowed it too much, or like it.
You close. You're close. It means like basically, okay, overlaying is like something was covering the baby's face.
Right.
Kind of like smothered. You see what I'm saying? She overlaid. She didn't even properly lay the child. That's what she's saying. When she says she overlaid it, she meaning like she didn't properly, like you were saying, like swallow him or cover him up right.
Right.
Right. And then her and then her baby died. So, and bring out the speed. So it's two sisters in the house that had a baby at the same time. And one of them's baby died because she overlaid the baby. Now keep going.
Come on. Verse 20. And she arose at midnight and took my son from beside me, while thine handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I rose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I had considered it in the morning, behold, it was not my son.
Right. Okay. So now let's see what happened. She took the baby, the one that whose baby died. She took her baby, brought it over to that other sister who was laying there. You know, they just had their babies. You know, sisters be. You know, if you ever seen a woman have a baby, they kind of be out of it a little bit. She took her baby over there, laid the dead baby next to her, took her live baby and laid it in her chest. And so the sister's laying there, she's like, okay. She didn't consider it or think about it until the morning, until she looked on the baby and found out her baby was dead and seen that this is not my baby that I seen yesterday. Right? They're telling all this to the king. Keep going.
Oh God. Which I did bear. Verse 22. And the other woman said, nay, but the living is my son.
So
and
the other woman's like, no, the baby I got, the living one is my son. Right? She lying. Keep going.
Oh God. And the dead is thy son.
And the dead is hers. The dead baby's hers. The living one is mine. Go ahead.
And this said, no, but the dead is thy son.
Mm-hmm.
And the living is my son.
Right, so the other one's like, no, you're lying. So they're having a little back and forth right here. No, you lying. The living one is my son. The dead one is your son. I've seen it. You know, they're going back and forth arguing. Right? Keep going.
Oh God. Thus they spake before the king. Verse 23. Then said the king, the one saith, this is my son that liveth, and thy son is the dead. And the other saith, nay, but thy son is the dead, and my son is the living. Mm-hmm. And the king said, bring me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king.
Right, so the king is like, okay, you saying this is your son that's alive, and you saying this is your son that's dead. You saying this son that's dead is her son, and vice versa, right? All right, bring me a sword. We're finna find out who's the mom. Right, go ahead.
Come. Verse 26, then spake the woman. Verse 25, and the king said, divide the living child in two, and give half to the one, and half to the other. Verse 26, then spake the woman whose the living child was unto the king, for her vows yearned upon her son.
Right. So then came this woman whose child it truly was, because she yearned for her son. She didn't want to see her son die. You see what I'm saying? She didn't want to see her son die. She values that boy's life, right? And mind you, these are two harlots. These are two whores. Go ahead.
Oh God. And she said, oh my Lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other said, let it be neither mine nor thine, but divide it.
See how wicked that is? She said, look, the moms of whose son it was said, give it to her. Okay, she can have it. Let's let the child live. And then the person whose son it wasn't, she said, okay, just kill the baby, cut it in half, give her half, give me half, so it's not in mine or hers. See what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 27. Then the king answered and said, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof. Verse 28. And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to do judgment.
God. See what I'm saying? They seen the Spirit of the Lord in that day. That's just because her child died, she did not care to see her other sister's happiness. She said, okay, her child died, my child can die at the same time. Who cares? But all right, I'll bring this up in two facets. Our sisters had a value in having children. These are two whores. You get harlots is a whore. Two whores that was having children, and they didn't get no abortion. They had them kids. You see what I'm saying? No matter what lifestyle they lived, they had them kids. They was about to have them kids. The mindset of the sister that wanted that person to die, was very unsisterly of her. She didn't care for that child's life, which is her fellow brother as an Israelite, and she didn't care for that sister as her being a mom, just because her child died. The bitterness, what I've been bringing out since I've been teaching this class, the jealousy, the envy, and the malice, right? That's the things that's what bred in that sister, right? And secondly, as a mom, that woman was ready to give her baby up for adoption, or basically that's kind of what it is, like adoption, rather than see her baby die. See what I'm saying? She's ready to give her baby up for adoption rather than see that baby die. And sisters, in no wise, in no way, shape, or form should you get an abortion, no matter what your circumstances is. Whether you're a man telling you to do it, whether you've been raped, whether you've been, whatever the hell the case may be. No wise do you give that child up for it. No wise do you abort that baby. What you can do is have a child, give it up for adoption if you don't want it. That's what that woman was ready to do. She's ready to give that baby up for adoption because she'd rather see that than to see that baby die. See what I'm saying? And that's the love and compassion that we need to have for our young ones, our little ones. That's the future of this nation. See what I'm saying? We didn't sin. You got the opportunity to bring your child into the world without having to sin. Teach them how not to sin. Something that you didn't have growing up as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. So this world is designed on sin. You can teach your child how to be the difference in the world, the rebel that they need to be, rather than being the victim that we all have fallen to be. See what I'm saying? It's like, what I'm saying is, we gotta value that parenthood that has been bestowed upon us. The Lord is giving you a child at whatever point in time that is in your life. Have that baby. Love that baby. Care for that baby. Raise that baby. And if you cannot, give that baby to somebody who can. Don't be like the sister who despised another sister for having a child because they lost theirs. That's like a sister that is just a hater. So lock it. That's the spirit of that. And secondly, it's like that woman cared for her child enough as to not want to see her baby die. You have to care for the same. You see what I'm saying? And as brothers, you gotta understand, don't be out here promoting women to get abortions. Don't be out here promoting women, putting them in that. You shouldn't even put a sister in that situation. How weak of a man are you? What type of nigga are you to put a sister in that situation? To be like, yeah, but it's tough. That's how we just saying that right now. So lock it. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have. I'm not ready to be a dad, nigga. But you was ready to lay down and do things that dads do. You know what I'm saying? That fathers do, that husbands do. So you got to be ready for what comes with that, man. And what time we at? We over the time. It's like it. With that, you know what I'm saying? This is the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Have them babies, man. I'm in the class, man. Shalom. Shalom.